Hollywood's most beloved couple just gave the internet exactly what it wanted, and honestly, no one saw this coming quite like this. When Kelly Ripa sat down on Live with Kelly and Mark and dropped a joke that had the entire studio audience absolutely losing it, fans immediately started clipping it, sharing it, and sending it to everyone they knew. She called her husband, daytime TV's leading man, Mark Consuelos, a Nepo dad. And the timing couldn't have been more perfect. Stay with us, because this story is so much more than a joke. It's about a family, a legacy, and a Broadway takeover that nobody, not even Kelly herself, saw coming. If you've been anywhere near daytime television, pop culture news, or just your social media feed in the last few months, you already know that Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos are, without question, one of Hollywood's most enduring, most entertaining, and most genuinely beloved couples. They met on the set of the soap opera All My Children back in 1995. They got married in 1996, eloping in true romantic fashion. And for nearly 3 decades since, they have built not just a marriage, but an empire. Kelly has been a fixture on morning television for over 25 years. Mark has become a fan-favorite actor across television, film, and now the stage. Together, they co-host Live with Kelly and Mark, bringing real, unscripted chemistry to millions of viewers every single morning. But lately, the Consuelos family hasn't just been making headlines for what happens on television. They've been taking over Broadway. And that is where this story gets really interesting. To understand just how wild this moment is, you have to know a little about the Consuelos family dynamic. Kelly and Mark have 3 children together. Michael, now 28, Lola, 24, and their youngest, Joaquin, who just turned 23. And here's the thing. Every single one of those kids has found their own path in the entertainment world. Michael works behind the camera, making his mark in production at Bravo, working on shows like the Real Housewives franchise. Lola launched her music career in 2022, released her debut EP, and has been building her sound from London. And Joaquin? Joaquin was a Division I wrestler at the University of Michigan, a star student athlete who also earned his degree from Michigan's prestigious School of Music, Theater, and Dance in May of 2025. That last part is important, because Joaquin Consuelos didn't ride his parents' coattails into the entertainment industry. He built his body, his discipline, and his craft on the wrestling mat, in the classroom, and on the stage before he ever set foot in a professional audition room. And then, in the spring of 2026, he walked onto Broadway. But that wasn't the only Consuelos on Broadway. This is the part that made everybody stop scrolling. In the spring of 2026, 2 members of the Consuelos family opened in 2 separate Broadway productions at the same time. Joaquin Consuelos made his Broadway debut on April 9th, starring in director Joe Mantello's acclaimed revival of Arthur Miller's Pulitzer Prize-winning Death of a Salesman. He plays a young version of the salesman's eldest son, appearing alongside Tony Award winners Nathan Lane and Laurie Metcalf. We're talking about some of the most respected names on the American stage, and Joaquin was right there with them, holding his own, fresh out of college. Meanwhile, his father, Mark Consuelos, was also making his Broadway debut at the exact same time, starring in a revival of Noel Coward's Fallen Angels alongside Golden Globe winner Rose Byrne and Tony Award winner Kelly O'Hara. Father and son, 2 Broadway debuts, 2 separate productions, 1 spring season. And Kelly Ripa? She was the one sitting at home, or rather, sitting behind the live desk, trying to figure out whose show to attend on any given night. "Who do I see tonight?" she joked publicly, laughing at the very real logistical challenge of being married to one Broadway star and mothering another. Fans immediately started reacting. Social media lit up. The story went viral almost overnight, because the image of this family, this couple who built their careers on screen together, now watching their son step into the same world they love, it was genuinely cinematic. And then came the joke that put everything over the top. As Kelly discussed Joaquin's Broadway debut on Live with Kelly and Mark, she did what Kelly Ripa does best, She found the humor in the moment. With that signature wit that has kept audiences tuned in for 25 years, she leaned into the cultural conversation around nepotism in Hollywood and flipped it on its head in the most playful, self-aware way possible. She called Mark a Nepo dad. Now, for anyone who needs a quick refresher, Nepo baby has been one of the buzziest phrases in celebrity culture for the last several years, referring to children of famous parents who find success in the same industry. It's a conversation that touches nearly every corner of Hollywood. But Kelly's spin? Calling Mark the Nepo dad, framing him as the one benefiting from having a son who's now a legitimate Broadway star, was clever, funny, and instantly shareable. The audience loved it. Mark laughed, and viewers everywhere immediately understood the joke. This isn't about doors being opened. Joaquin Consuelos earned his place on that stage. But the family connection? That part is undeniably real. And Kelly wasn't about to let Mark forget it. It was one of those moments that reminded everyone exactly why Live with Kelly and Mark remains must-watch morning television. The public reaction was everything you'd expect, and then some. Fans flooded social media with clips from the show. Entertainment news outlets picked up the Nepo dad line immediately. Headlines ran everywhere from People to Hello to entertainment blogs across the country. But beyond the jokes and the viral clips, what struck people most was the genuine emotion underneath it all. Kelly herself admitted that when she first saw Joaquin perform in a preview before opening night, it took her breath away. It was unbelievable, she said. The entire production is incredible, and just to see Joaquin up there took my breath away. Incredible, incredible cast, production, staging, the whole thing. She also shared something quietly beautiful about the process. Joaquin had actually asked her not to come to the first preview. He wanted her to wait for opening night, and she respected his wishes. Think about that for a second. This is a 23-year-old young man, the son of two of the most famous faces in American daytime television, setting a professional boundary with his own mother because he wanted to be ready before she saw him perform. That's not a Nepo baby. That's a professional. Kelly and Mark both attended Joaquin's opening night, joining him at the afterparty at the iconic Katz's Delicatessen in New York City. And in an interview with the New York Times published June 1st, both Mark and Joaquin reflected on their shared Broadway experience, bonding over their debuts, their love for the stage, and confirming that more Broadway was likely in their futures. It was the kind of father-son story that reminds you that behind every headline, there are real people growing, connecting, and building something together. What makes this story resonate so deeply goes beyond celebrity gossip or late-night punchlines. The Consuelos family has quietly become one of the most compelling multi-generational entertainment stories in Hollywood right now. Kelly Ripa, who tied Oprah Winfrey's record as the longest-running female daytime talk show host, continues to be one of the most beloved presences on morning television. Mark Consuelos, who joined her at the live desk in April 2023, has brought a new energy to the show and proved that their on-screen chemistry is just as magnetic as their off-screen love story. And now their children, each carving their own distinct paths, are adding new chapters to a legacy that started on a soap opera set 3 decades ago. The Nepo dad joke wasn't mean-spirited. It wasn't a dig. It was a celebration, wrapped in Kelly Ripa's irreplaceable sense of humor. It was her way of saying, look at this family we've built. Look at this son of ours. Look at this man I married. And now look at us, both laughing about it on national television. That is the Consuelos brand. And it never gets old. There's something genuinely moving about watching a family that started in daytime soap operas, built on fictional drama, scripted romance, and studio lighting, turn into something so real, so lasting, and so undeniably full of life. Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos have been in the public eye for nearly 30 years. They've handled fame, scrutiny, the inevitable ups and downs of Hollywood marriages, and the very modern challenge of raising 3 children in the spotlight. And yet, here they are, still laughing together on live television, still showing up for each other, still finding the joke in the beautiful chaos of their lives. Joaquin Consuelos walking out onto a Broadway stage, standing under those lights, sharing space with legends, having earned every moment through discipline and dedication, is the payoff of a story that's been building for over 2 decades. And Kelly calling Mark a Nepo dad for it? That's just the cherry on top. So here's our question for you today. Do you think Joaquin Consuelos is proving himself as a talent independent of his famous parents? And are you Team Kelly or Team Mark in this whole Nepo dad debate? Let us know in the comments. We genuinely want to hear what you think. If you enjoyed this celebrity update, subscribe for more entertainment news and Hollywood stories. Hit the bell icon so you never miss a thing, because with families like the Consuelos clan around, there's always something worth talking about.